Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in today for Vinyasa Yoga. My name is Erica and I'm with UMBC Recreation. In this style of class, you can expect yoga poses tied together in a flow. You'll notice repetitive of movement, and we tie that movement in with our breath. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone to always listen to your body. Don't let your ego get in the way of your practice, and to always check with the physician before you start a new exercise regimen. We're going to get started with a nice slow warm-up, and then we'll pick up some pace, build up heat in our body, and get a complete body stretch. We're going to focus on hips today, so just a heads up. We're going to start laying flat on our mat. Legs and arms spread out nice and wide, palms face up. And bring your awareness to your breath. Maybe deepen the breath a little bit. And focus on the rise and fall of your chest. If you need to sort of get out any jitters, you can wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, and then try to settle into stillness, focusing on the breath. If you deepened your breath, come back to the normal rise and fall of your chest and draw your legs together. Bring right knee in towards the chest, interlacing the fingers, holding below the shin, flexing the foot. Draw the thigh nice and close to the body. If you feel any discomfort on your knee here, you're more than welcome to hold onto the back of the thigh instead. Whatever feels better in your body. Now draw the knee out towards the right armpit, bringing the hip into the equation here, still keeping thigh close to body and feet flexed. And gently release your leg onto the mat. Now drawing left knee in towards the chest, holding below the shin, or below the knee, on the back of the thigh. Either or, thigh close to body. And keep giving attention to your breath. Now drawing the knee out towards the armpit. And releasing the leg onto the mat. Draw both knees into the chest, feet side by side, thighs close to body. Then release the legs, sending feet to the mat. Extend your right leg up to the ceiling, pressing out through the heel, holding on to the back of the thigh. If the leg is straight here, and you want a little more sensation, pull the leg a little closer to the body. If you're feeling really tight, put a slight bend in the knee. Release your hold and return the foot to the mat. Extend the left leg up to ceiling, press out through the heel. And if you pulled the leg a little closer on the opposite side, do the same here. And we'll all release, sending foot to floor. Straighten the legs back onto the mat and roll over to the right side of your body, placing your elbow on the floor and using your hand to support your head. Left hand stays comfortably by your side. Legs are straight. Bend the left knee, and we'll start to make some circles with the hips. Nice, big, exaggerated circles. And now start to reverse direction. Maybe finish up this last circle here and return legs together. To switch sides, come onto your back and then roll over to your left. I'm just going to shimmy this way so I don't have my back turned to you guys. Start with legs straight and then bend the right knee. Start those circles, nice, big, and exaggerated. Maybe you notice you had a bigger range of motion on one side. And now let's reverse direction. And finish with the legs straight. Go ahead and press yourself all the way up to a seated position facing the front of your mat. And then rock forward into tabletop on the hands and the knees, knees stacked under hips and wrist under shoulders. Tops of feet to the mat. Lift up to the fingertips. And working with the spine a little bit now, let's round the spine, tuck the chin to chest into cat pose. Then slowly lift and arch the spine up to ceiling, gaze up into cow. On the exhale, return to cat, round the spine, chin to chest. Inhale, lift and arch. One more time, exhaling out through the mouth, rounding the spine. Inhaling through the nose as you lift and arch. And return to a neutral tabletop position. Extend your right leg behind you, pointing through the toes, heel in line with hip. Then give me a crunch, drawing this knee in towards the chest, rounding the spine, lifting the knee as high as you can, and stepping the foot into lunge. Ankle below the knee. You can manually place the foot into alignment if you need. Draw the breath in through the nose as we lift both arms overhead. And keeping the arms upright, we'll exhale out through the mouth. Press down through your left knee, find length out through the top of the head and the sides of the body. To get a deeper stretch on the front side of the left thigh into the hip flexor, we're going to send the hips forward just a few inches, lifting through the chest, gazing up to the ceiling. Keep your belly nice and active, belly button drawing back to the spine. If you want more sensation in that left hip flexor and thigh, keep sending the hips forward. But if you do, try not to crunch into the low back. Keep lifting from the chest, lifting spine out of the tailbone. As we exhale out the mouth, bring fingertips down to the mat. Inhale through the nose, lift right arm up to ceiling. Keeping the arm up, we'll exhale here. Twist from the belly and open the chest. Right foot stays flat to the mat. Gaze is up to the ceiling. Exhale out through the mouth and bring fingertips to floor. Extend your right leg behind you, point through the toes, and return to tabletop. Left leg extends. Give me a crunch, knee to chest, round the spine, pull the knee high, and step the foot into lunge. Draw the breath in through your nose and lift both arms overhead. Exhaling here, holding here. Press down to the right knee, find some length. Slowly and carefully send the hips forward, keep lifting from the chest. Activate your core. Exhale out through the mouth, fingertips to mat. Inhale, left arm up. Hold and exhale here. Exhale and lower fingertips to floor. Extend left leg, pointing through the toes. Return to tabletop. Bring the elbows down to the mat into puppy pose, hands flat, elbows beneath the shoulders, and let the head relax. This is option 1 for your rest pose. Option 2 is to take child's, hips all the way to the heels, toes touch but knees separate, and forehead to mat. This is our resting pose throughout the class. If you're uncomfortable in child's pose, come back to puppy at any time. And we'll finish our warm-up here. A few moments of stillness. Still stretching the hips, lengthening the spine. And again, I'll ask you to take your focus back to your breath. Slowly rise to a tabletop position. Lift up to the fingertips and step your right foot up into a lunge position, ankle below knee. Tuck your left toes onto the mat and lift that knee into the air, lifting up to the pointer and the middle finger, drawing belly in, sending chest forward, gaze is forward. And step your left foot up to half lift, so left foot steps up to meet the right. Straightening the back, hands to shins. Shoulders draw away from the ears, gaze is down towards the floor. Lower to fold, bend the knees, drop your belly to your thighs, let your arms and head hang heavy. Keep the weight in the balls of the feet, but don't lift the heels. Keep the hips lifting to the ceiling. And slowly, one vertebrae at a time, we'll round our spines up into a standing position. Leave your chin tucked to your chest until you make it all the way to standing. Once you're up, give me a deep breath in through the nose, lift the arms overhead. Exhale out through the mouth, lowering hands down by your sides. Again, breath in and arms up. We exhale to forward fold, belly to thighs. Rise to half lift, flatten your back. Step back into a plank position. And lower the knees to tabletop, uncurling the toes, top of feet to mat. For Chaturanga, we'll lean forward until shoulders are out past the wrist. Then bend the elbows, keeping them close to the body at a 90-degree angle before you lower the chest and the hips flat to mat. Elbows are pointing up to the ceiling and fingertips are under the shoulders, legs together. Lifting the chest for baby cobra, not pressing into the hands, but using the strength of your back, opening the chest. Now press into the hands to come into child's, hips to heels. Forehead to mat. Slowly rise back to tabletop. And tuck the toes onto the mat, preparing for down dog. If this is your first time taking down dog, I'm going to break it up into parts. You can move with me. If you're more familiar, you're more than welcome to move into down dog first. For beginners, spread your fingers nice and wide. Make sure pointer fingers are facing towards the top of the mat. We're going to lift the knees off the mat first and draw the belly back to the spine. Then send the hips up to the ceiling, keeping the knees bent, drawing belly back towards the thighs, pressing into the mat to lengthen the spine. We can start here, gazes down towards your toes. And then from here, if you like to take it a step further, try straightening one heel to the mat and then switching and straightening the other, pedaling the feet back and forth, keeping the hips reaching high towards the ceiling. If this is your first time, I want you to work here, pedaling the feet, or if you're more comfortable, just keeping the feet or the knees bent, holding steady like this. Everyone give me a deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, and look forward to the top of the mat. Step your left foot up into a lunge position, placing ankle below the knee, lifting up to the pointer and middle finger. Step up to half lift, flattening the back, hands to shins. Lower to fold, belly to thighs, head hangs heavy. And one vertebrae at a time, we'll rise to a standing position. We'll take that 2 more times. Lift the arms overhead, gaze up to ceiling. Lower to fold, belly to thighs. Rise half lift, flatten the back. Step back into a plank and lower the knees to tabletop. Lean forward for Chaturanga, bend the elbows 90 degrees, then lower flat to the mat. Lift the chest, baby cobra, shoulders behind the heart, and press the child's hips to heels. Slowly rise to a tabletop position. Tuck your toes onto mat for down dog. Lift the knees and send the hips up to ceiling, belly back towards thighs. Knees are either bent or you're pressing heels flat towards the mat. The important thing is that your spine stays long. If you try to straighten the legs and you notice that your upper back rounds or your belly capes in, then go back to knees bent. We want nice long spines. Legs straight is secondary. Press firmly into the pointer finger and the thumb. Look forward and step your right foot into lunge. Step up to half lift, flatten the back. Lower to fold, belly to thighs, and slowly rise up to standing. One last time through. Breathe in through the nose, lift arms overhead. Exhale out through the mouth, forward fold. Inhale to half lift, flatten the back. Exhale as you step back into plank and lower the knees to the mat. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, lean forward to Chaturanga and lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale, baby cobra, lift the chest. And exhale to child's, hips to heels. Slowly return to tabletop position and lift the hips into down dog. Draw the low belly in, shoulders to ears. Nice long spine. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Remember what I said about ego in practice. Maybe those knees need to stay bent. My legs feel particularly tight today, so I'm going to practice with knees bent. Not letting my ego get in the way of the practice. I don't need to straighten my legs. Look forward. Step your left foot up to lunge and draw the breath in as you rise to half lift. Exhale to forward fold, belly to thighs. Inhale as you rise to standing, drawing out the inhale. And once you make it to the top, exhaling. Again, lift the arms overhead, gaze up to ceiling. Lower to folds, belly to thighs. Rise half lift. Step your right foot back into a lunge position. Maybe you need to kick that foot back a few times until you're in alignment. Left knee over the ankle. Lower the knee down to the mat and uncurl the toes. Heel toe your left foot out to the outer edge of your mat and bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. So we're opening the hip. Lengthen the spine and send the chest forward. We'll take a few breaths here. If you're not feeling enough sensation in that left hip, option is to flex the foot and then roll over to the pinky edge of the foot, letting the knee fall away from the body. If you're on the pinky edge of the foot, bring the foot back flat to the mat and heel toe your foot back into the center, bringing your left hand back out to frame the foot. Tuck right toes onto the mat and lift that knee up in the air, lifting up to pointer and middle finger. Option 1 to rise to Vinyasa is to lift the arms straight overhead. If you're struggling with your balance, take your hands to your thighs first and then extend the arms up. Breathing here, we're on the ball of the right foot. Left knee is stacked over the ankle. Open into Warrior 2, so open to face the right side of your mat. Right heel rotates down and makes contact with the mat. Arms lower to shoulder height. Left knee is still over the ankle. Hips and shoulders face that long edge of your mat. If you're not feeling enough of an opening between the hips here, widen your stance. Still pressing firmly into the pinky edge of the right foot, sending hips down towards the floor, left knee over ankle. Nice and strong and tall in our Warrior 2. Deep breaths. Windmill the arms down to lunge as the right heel lifts off the mat. Step back into plank and drop the knees to tabletop. Lean forward for Chaturanga, bend the elbows and lower down to the mat. Inhale to baby cobra, chest lifts. Exhale to child's, hips to heels. Slowly return to your tabletop position and lift your hips to down dog, up to ceiling. Try to deepen the breath here. Press firmly through the fingers. Look forward and step your left foot up to lunge. Breathe in as you rise to half lift. Exhale as you lower to fold. And draw the inhale out as you rise to standing. Exhaling at the top. Breath in and arms up. Let's take the opposite side. Exhale to fold, belly to thighs. Inhale, half lift. Exhale as you step your left foot back into a lunge position. Lower the knee to the mat and uncurl the toes. Heel toe the right foot out to the outer edge of the mat, hands to the inside. Breathing here, lengthen that spine, send your chest forward. If you're taking things a step forward, start by flexing the foot and rolling over to the pinky edge. If you open the hip, bring the foot back flat to the mat. Heel toe the foot to the middle of the mat and bring your hand back to the outside. Tuck left toes onto the mat and lift the knee into the air. Lift both arms overhead to Anjaneyasana, taking hands to the thigh first if you need. Work with your body. Breathing here. Opening into warrior two, left heel comes flat, knee over ankle and arms at shoulder height. If you widened your stance on the opposite side, do the same here. Deepen the breath. And windmill the arms down to lunge. Step back into plank and drop the knees to tabletop. Lean forward for Chaturanga. Bring your body flat to mat. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale to child's. Slowly return to your tabletop position and lift to your down dog. Last down dog of the class. Nice and tall, long spines. Nice deep breaths. Look forward and step your right foot into lunge. Inhale as you rise to half lift. Exhale to fold. And inhale to rise to standing. Exhaling at the top. Deep breath in through the nose, arms up overhead. Exhale out through the mouth, lower hands down by your sides. Again, breath in, arms up. Breath out, arms down. We're going to take some balancing work today. I'm going to turn this way so you guys can see me better, but you're more than welcome to stay towards the top of your mat. We're going to take tree pose today. We're going to start by shifting all the weight into our right leg. Lift up those toes, spread them wide, bring them back down to the mat. Tiny micro bend in the standing leg. Activate that thigh muscle to protect the knee. You should feel the muscles around your knee lift. We'll start with our hands at heart center. Lift up to the tippy toes of the left foot, and then open that hip, turning the knee out. Here's option one. Option two, to challenge your balance a little more, is to take the bottom of the left foot to the thigh, or to the calf, excuse me. Third option is to take that foot all the way up to the thigh, keeping the hip open in whichever position you're in, drawing the knee back. Standing tall, down through the standing leg. Rising out through the crown of your head, relaxing your shoulders down your back. If you like to challenge your balance even more, try lifting your arms overhead. And see if you can add a little sway, like where trees, our branches are moving in the wind. Challenge your balance. If you're moving in the breeze with me, let's find some stillness. Bring our hands down through heart center. Step your left foot down to the mat. We're going to switch sides. All the weight is now on the left foot. Spread those toes nice and wide. Do everything we did on the opposite side. Tiny micro bend, turn on that thigh muscle, and lift up to the tippy toes of the right foot. Open the hip, and choose whatever position you chose on the opposite side, whether that's here, calf, or thigh. You can use your hand to grab that foot and put it where you need to be. Open the hip, draw the knee back, and stand nice and tall. Let's send those branches up towards the ceiling, and maybe add a little bit of breeze. Slow the breeze down till it stops completely. Bring hands together down through heart center and step your right foot down to the mat. Keep your hands here at heart center and look down towards your floor. Bring your attention to the beat of your heart, the rate of your breath, how you feel in your body. Take a second to gently close your eyes. Bring even more awareness inside. Keeping your eyes closed, lower your arms down by your sides and lift your head. Deep breath in through the nose, lift arms up. Exhale out through the mouth, bringing hands together and down through heart center. One more time, deep breath in. Slow breath out, hands to heart center. Open the eyes and lower to forward fold, belly to thighs, let the arms hang. Then we'll settle in here for a few breaths. Slowly rise to half lift. Step back into plank. Hold this plank here. We're going for 10 seconds, but if you're tired, you're more than welcome to lower down early to your knees. Make sure heels are in line with hips, are in line with shoulders. We're holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice and slow, keeping elbows close to the body. Lower yourself down till you're flat on your mat. Bring your toes together, let the heels fall out. Then turn your head to one side so you can rest on your cheek. And lower your arms down along the sides of your body, palms face up. Take a deep breath in through the nose, and when you exhale, relax completely onto the mat. Take a short rest period here. Slowing down the practice. If you like to get a deeper stretch for your neck, you can turn your head so you're resting more on your ear than you are your cheek. If you're comfortable, close the eyes. Gently turn your head to the opposite side, starting on your cheek first. Moving to the ear if you're deepening the stretch. Then bring your chin to the mat, placing hands underneath the shoulders to press into child's pose. Rounded child's pose, so arms along the sides of the body, palms face up, shoulders melt down towards the floor. Slowly rise up to a seated position and swing your legs down the length of your mat so you're flat on your sits bones. Flex the feet, lengthen the spine, and lift your arms overhead. Drop your chin to chest, then round the spine into rounded back stretch, lowering hands to the knees, pointing elbows out to either side of the room. Relaxing your shoulders away from the ears. And focusing on your breath. Give some time for the muscles around your spine to relax. Let go of the stress that they're holding. Slowly lift the spine upright into staff pose, placing hands on either sides of your hips, lengthening the spine before relaxing back to neutral. Bend your right knee, placing the foot on the mat. Option today to cross the foot over to the opposite side, getting more of an opening on the outside of the right hip. If when you cross the foot over, your right hip lifted off the mat, uncross the foot. Use your left arm to take hold of that bent knee, and then twisting from our belly and then our ribs, we'll place our right hand directly behind us and gaze to the back of the mat. Left foot stays flexed. Spine stays long to the ceiling. And gently unwind, returning back to the front of the mat. Straighten the leg, uncrossing the foot if it was crossed. Bend the left knee, placing foot to mat. Foot either stays here or crosses over to the opposite side. Right arm holds on this time, twist from belly, ribs, open the chest. Place free fingertips behind you. Gaze to the back of the room. Slowly release and straighten the leg. Bring the bottoms of the feet together into Baddha Konasana. Letting the knees fall down towards the floor, sending spine up towards the ceiling. The closer you bring the heels towards the body, the more you'll open the hips. If the heels are pretty close and you still want some more sensation, we did open the hips a lot today. You can send the chest forward, keeping the spine long, folding over the legs. Gazing down towards the mat. If you leaned forward, bring the spine back upright. Straighten the legs onto the mat and make sure you're sitting in the center of your mat if you're not there already. Place your hands behind you, fingertips facing towards the feet. Bend the knees so feet are on the mat. And when you draw the breath in through your nose, lift the hips up towards the ceiling, aiming to bring them in line with the knees. Then exhale out through the mouth and lower hips back down to the mat. One more time, breath in, hips up. Exhale, hips down. Hold on to the back of your thighs. And slowly we'll roll down onto our back until we're laying flat on the mat. Straighten the legs onto the mat as well. Take a breath or two here. Draw both knees in towards the chest and give them a squeeze, pulling thighs close to body, feet side by side. Maybe finding a gentle rock. And settle into stillness. Place your hands on the back of your thighs and extend the legs up towards the ceiling. Heels stacked over the hips. We'll hold in an inversion for about 30 seconds here. If it's uncomfortable for any reason to hold your legs up, you can bend the knees, drawing thighs closer to the body, still getting all the benefits of the inversion, just calming the nervous system, bringing some fresh oxygenated blood towards our heads. Got about another 10 seconds here. Deepen the breath. And draw the knees all the way to the chest, lowering heels down towards the glutes. Place your arms along the floor at shoulder height, palms face up. Let the knees fall over to the right side into reclined spinal twist, and turn your head to the left. This is our last pose before final resting pose. I suggest closing the eyes, helping the body prepare for stillness. Draw the knees back to center, let them fall over to the left and head to the right. Draw the knees back to the center of your chest for the last time and grab a hold of the legs, pulling them close to the body. Lift your head to meet your knees. Take a nice deep breath in, hold it at the top. And as you slowly exhale out the mouth, lay flat on the mat, spreading arms and legs wide. Let the toes fall out, palms face up. And bring your attention to your breath. Following the rhythmic rise and fall of your chest. Relaxing your brow. Separating your upper and lower jaw. Let every exhale move you deeper into relaxation. Let every exhale release stress and tension from your body as you melt onto the mat. Begin to deepen your breath, Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Welcome movement back into the body. Then slowly roll over to the right side of your body, taking a moment of stillness on your side. Maybe using your arm to support your head. Keeping your eyes closed or gaze low to the floor. Slowly press yourself up into any comfortable seated position. As always, we'll end class with 3 cleansing breaths together as one. That's breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to add a little bit of movement to our breath today. So as we exhale, we'll round the spine, dropping chin to chest. As we inhale, we'll lift an arch, lifting head up to the ceiling. Let's all start on an exhale, releasing all the breath we have from the body, starting with a roundness in our spine and bowing our chin down towards our chest. Draw the breath in through the nose, filling up the belly and the chest, arching the spine, lifting the head up. Exhaling to round, chin comes back to chest. Breath in, lift and arch, fill the body with breath. Exhale, spine rounds, chin to chest. Last time, filling the body up, belly, ribs, and chest, arching, lifting the head, and exhaling to round, coming back to ourselves, chin to chest. Lift the spine to a neutral position and give your body and mind thanks for your patience in this practice. I'd like to thank you as well for letting me lead you on this practice. Namaste. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I enjoyed teaching it. If you like this style, a new version of this class is released every Monday at 8, and you can watch it at any time that works for you. If you're looking for something a little more demanding in the body, I teach a core yoga class that's focused on toning the core. It's a lot of fun, hard work, and that class is aired every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Don't forget to follow UMBC Rec on Instagram to keep up with all of our content. And we also have a YouTube channel, UMBC Rec TV. Thanks so much. Hope to see you guys next time.